What's up and welcome back everybody. Today we have a fun one in store for you. Brought to you by the Evolve system, a functional twist on traditional strength training using a single kettlebell. Evolve system WODs are typically built in a way where we either combine pushing, pulling, and swinging movements, or we perform those movements in isolation from each other. Depending on whether or not our training falls in a high volume week or low volume week dictates which style of workout we perform. This week, we're performing a low-volume Evolve system WOD in which we'll be performing a sequence of pushing movements 4 times through. Let me break down the exercises in today's workout before you get started. You're going to begin with a 30-second arm bar on each side to get things warmed up. From there, you're going to perform 2 Turkish Get-Ups on the right-hand side. Follow that up with 2 Turkish Get-Ups on the left-hand side, and then close out the sequence with 1-arm kettlebell swings, 10 repetitions each arm. You'll have scheduled rest breaks in between sets, and I'll coach you through it as you go. Grab a moderate weight kettlebell and let's get started. Starting off with 30-second arm bar on each side. Good luck today. Typically in our programming, we only perform Turkish Get-Ups on a given side one at a time, but today we're upping the ante. You have 2 Turkish Get-Ups on the right-hand side coming up. Don't go anywhere, we're going back to Turkish Get-Ups on the left-hand side, 2 reps. As always, safety is the most important thing here at Momentum WOD, so if you need to use a lower weight than you typically would with this exercise, feel free to do so. And for the last exercise of this sequence, we're moving on to 20 repetitions of one-arm swings, 10 reps each side. As is always the case when performing one-arm swings, chalk up your hands before getting started so you can maintain grip and don't slip over the course of the set. Alright everybody, your first of 4 rounds is in the books. You're going to get an extended 2-minute rest break before we start round 2. As is always the case, take that time and use it wisely. Grab water if you need it, and then make sure that you're actively recovering in between now and the start of the next round. You have a minute of rest remaining before we start round 2. During proper performance of the armbar, you should notice and feel the small stabilizing muscles of the shoulder girdle twitching involuntarily. You can achieve this by making sure your arm is directly perpendicular to the body and by internally or externally rotating the arm at the shoulder joint until the sensation is experienced. Once you get it right, you'll feel it and you'll know what I mean. Sometimes when I talk about certain exercises, I sound like a broken record because I reiterate the same points, but they're important, so I want to make sure that I get it through to you. When performing the Turkish Get-Up, it's important that you stabilize, control, and own each position of the movement. Do not rush through this exercise. Take your time. Turkish Get-Up is jiu-jitsu personified in a weightlifting exercise. There is no more perfect of an exercise for the jiu-jitsu practitioner than the Turkish Get-Up. You're back to 2 repetitions, this time on the left-hand side. The swing is not only an exercise of power development and core stability, but is also an exercise of metabolic conditioning. There's a popular sequence known as Simple and Sinister, which is an exercise routine over the course of 12 weeks' time that involves the performance of only 2 exercises, the swing and the Turkish Get-Up. These 2 exercises are so effective at what they do that you can build an entire routine around just them. Alright everybody, you have crossed the halfway point of this workout. Shake it out, get focused, and get ready for round number 3 in 2 minutes time. In between now and then, make sure that you continue to keep moving. Proper execution of the kettlebell armbar requires proper alignment of all parts of the body, much like another type of armbar you may be better acquainted with. The arm extended overhead, the spine, and the straight leg should all be aligned with each other. The arm maintaining the kettlebell should be at a 90-degree angle from the rest of the body. The initial step of the Turkish Get-Up is not a sit-up, but a roll-up. It's a transition of body weight from one side of the body to the elbow of the other side of the body. Think of it as if you're performing a sweep. You're not muscling your way through the movement, but instead you're using finesse, momentum, and leverage to drive in the opposite direction. As expected, we're closing out round number 3 with 10 repetitions of the one-arm kettlebell swing on each side. Let's continue to tune in to our technique and make sure that we're doing it right. Hike the bell off the ground, powerfully drive through the heels, and extend to a tall standing neutral position with each repetition. Squeeze those glutes, keep that core tight, and make sure you're breathing. Alright team, that's 3 in the books and 1 more to go. Let's stay focused. You are on the home stretch of this workout. Let's maintain that same intensity and close this thing out strong. You have 1 round remaining. Stay with me. The armbar is not only a great exercise to build isometric strength and stability, but it's a movement of mobility as well. Notice Anna's opposite arm extended overhead to promote scapular fluidity, which in turn facilitates mild thoracic extension as well. This is your last set of arm bars coming up. Alright everybody, you are on to the last 2 repetitions of Turkish Get-Ups for this workout. Let's make these last 2 reps of this exercise the best reps that you've done up to this point. Stay strong and finish this sequence out strong. You know what time it is. Last set, best set. You're finishing this thing out with 10 repetitions of 1-arm kettlebell swings on each side. Chalk up those hands and do it the way it's supposed to be done. Let's close it out and be proud of the work we've done today.